Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Dumb Dad Podcast. My name is Evan, and I'm a dumb dad.
Hey, everybody. My name is Kevin, and I'm a dumb dad.
How you feeling,
Hi, pal? Cheers. I
Cheers
guess.
to you. What do you have?
I have a sports beverage.
You have some Pedialyte. I have some Pedialyte as well. Mine's a lot
No
more
freebies.
concentrated.
No, not Pedialyte. No freebies.
I don't even know. Is that a brand name? I don't even know. I just know you get Pedialyte. If your kid's got some diarrhea or they're throwing up, you go get Pedialyte.
Oh my God.
Or if you got a bad hangover. If
your kids are sick, you make sure you get Pedialyte so that they won't drink it, and then you just have Pedialyte in your fridge. Pedialyte.
Exactly. Pedialyte.
Something else
Use
to
our
put
code
Pedialyte.
#DumbDad to get 5% off.
Pedialyte. Let it collect dust next to the olives.
You don't like olives, Kev? We're just learning this now.
Oh, no, I like olives. We just don't get around to them.
Okay.
You know?
Oh, I see. Yeah.
We just got a jar of olives in the fridge that just don't get, just don't get the love.
Give us an update, Kevin. Give me an update where we last left off. We were
Go ahead. Where were we when we left our heroes?
Mm-hmm. When we last
Where
left our
were we
heroes,
when-
we were pausing for a minute to be together, record all these things because you had been exposed to COVID, and it was just like a timing thing. We thought, let's just be safe and record like this way. And then,
Okay, so last podcast,
you can talk now.
last podcast, I got exposed twice in a row.
Mm-hmm.
First time,
Twice in a row, right?
whole family. It was like family with another family, narrowly escaped, unscathed. Amazing. I mean, the second the time was up that we were we've reached the period, hung out with another family. Again, it was a close count. It was an exposure that we didn't know about till after the fact. Same as the first time. We didn't dodge it this time.
Mm-hmm.
It was not a narrow miss.
Yeah.
It was me
Caught you
and
head
my
on.
two kids. It was me and my two children. I was babysitting my sister-in-law's kids while she had some stuff to do. So I'm watching them with my kids. That night, they tell us the kid tested positive for COVID. So we're like, all right, let's see if we can dodge twice. Let's see what happens. And we did not. One morning, my daughter woke up and tested her. She tested positive. And I was like, okay, so I'm going to test positive, and then my son's going to test positive because it was the three of us. My wife wasn't there.
Right.
So my daughter
You
gets
see it
My
playing
daughter
out from
has
there.
COVID. It's our first time getting it. I know some people have had it. We were lucky enough to have avoided it for this long. It has reached our shores. And
Headstrong, it arrived.
so now we were in this lockdown situation of just all right, we can't go anywhere. It's a huge bummer because my daughter tested positive. I don't remember now. It was either Thursday or Friday. It is Thursday. I don't remember if she started having symptoms until Thursday or Friday. But she had a nasty cough. So now we know school is on Monday. She's going to miss her first day of school. At least the first day of school. And we're like, all right, let's see what we can do here.
She's excited about that. What's her vibe there? She's the kid. Is she the kid that's like, oh, I want to go to school? Or is she just like, sweet, more summer?
She's excited about more summer. She was definitely just like, oh, cool, more time to hang out with you guys. And sure, that's nice. She's very in the moment kind of person, my daughter. So I don't have to go there. Great. I'm excited to be here. But when she goes to school, she's going to have the time of her life and be super excited. So, I mean, we're super bummed that she's missing school, the beginning of school. I know. My worry is when she does get to go back. As we're recording this, it's Tuesday. We're going to keep her out the whole week. I'll get into it, and my fear is that she's going to go in on Monday, and a whole week of school has gone by.
It's like she's that new kid. She's like that new kid. Yeah.
She's going to feel out of place. People have already kind of made friendships, or she knows a lot of the people from kindergarten. It's the same school, but there's still that nerves of just walking in and being like,
right.
well, I don't fit in. It's me projecting, but that is a fear that we're we're worried about. I'm definitely worried about.
Sure.
Anyway, so she tested positive, and then we're masking up. We're doing our best, but it's just like, all right, how do we do this? So I talked about this in the podcast. Or I'm sleeping in the guest room, but we're in this tight situation where my son is at this age where he just always wants to be with my wife. So it doesn't matter where my wife is. She's sleeping on the couch. She's in the guest room. She's in the
just
car.
the one right now.
My son's gonna go there, and he's gonna want to sleep next door. He wakes up in the middle of the night, and it's one of those things like you put him back to bed, he comes back. You put him back to bed, he comes back. Like he just does that. When he decides he wants to sleep with you, well, with my wife, he's going to find a way. So we kind of were like, well, let's use that to try to maneuver that, because my daughter's the only one who tested positive. So when he went to bed, we'd scoop him up because he was like fighting sleeping in our bed. We're like, sleep in our bed at night, and he's just like, no. We're like, okay, go to bed in your bed. Let our daughter stay up a little late. When she goes to bed, we scoop him up, bring him into the bedroom. Sleeps with my wife. I'm in the guest room. My son gets it, which just means my wife's going to get it. And sure enough,
I mean,
my wife gets it. So now all three of them have it. I, as of this recording, do not have it. I haven't tested in almost 2 days now. But, I mean, I've got no symptoms or anything. I probably should test myself now, but I don't have it. And
let's cut to the live testing. Kevin.
Okay, so we got a camera on a Q-tip to go really up that nose and see what's going on in there.
Touch your brain with that thing. Let's figure it out right now.
His septum is deviated. So I'm in the guest room / office where we record our podcast, and every day for the last, when did my wife test positive? Today is Tuesday. I think she tested positive Sunday. Every day for the last 3 days, it's just been felt like one long dumb dad moment. It's just been,
that's what you brought to the table this week. Was a 3-day event of dumb dad moments.
It's one thing if I had it and they didn't, and I'm I'm quarantined by myself. That's different. I have this situation where the two of them have it, or the three of them have, the two kids have it, and my wife has it, and it sucks.
Right.
Because I want to help, but now we're at this part where they're kind of deep in there having it. My wife's on day 3. My kids are on day 5 or 6. And it's one of those things where it's like, okay, I want to help, but we definitely can't get me sick, because now we're just starting the clock over again. So I am helping. I am the kids are coming outside. The first couple of days I was dog shit. Not helpful. Dumb dad. I was distancing myself too much. I was definitely annoying my wife, understandably. She's starting to especially yesterday, she was getting really she's getting nauseous. She's got body aches and stuff. And it's one of those things where it's all right, I've got to risk it a little bit to help out more. I definitely wasn't helping out as much as I could have been because I was being overly cautious, which just felt selfish, because I'm just
okay, so talk to me a little bit about that, because I think maybe before people have had COVID or families have had COVID or not had COVID, it's probably a bit of a conversation you've had, if one of us gets it, we're all just going to get it. Or is that something you guys are thinking, to whatever degree we can avoid anybody getting it, because nobody wants to be that.
We don't want to get it because we don't know anything. We don't want to get it,
but you know what I'm saying. The kids, I think, are tough. I feel like it's, and my wife and I were talking about this too. A bit if the kid gets it, it's so much harder. Whereas if the the wife or the husband or whoever or whatever partner gets it, right, and then it's okay, well. If anything, I got to go to, maybe you go to a hotel for 3 days or 5 days or whatever. Who knows? Totally isolate yourself so the rest of the family doesn't get it. But if it's a kid that gets it, it's so much harder, I think.
It's so much harder with a kid getting it because you still need to do everything for the kid. Even my daughter is very self-sufficient. She's only 6. So we still have to do a lot of things for them, make them meals, get them into the bath, out of the bath, all that stuff. And my 6-year-old's been great. She's been in good spirits. She's been a big help. But, my 3-year-old, when he got it, we were like, all right, this is game over. We're all getting it. Now, we weren't doing the thing of all right, let's all get it. because, we don't know anything. We don't know enough about it. We don't know what's going to, like, it's going to be different for every person, but we don't know what's going to happen in like 10 years. Like I had COVID 10 years ago. Now I blink whenever a car drives by or something. Like we don't know like what the world is going to look like.
I honk at cars. I honk
at honks. But I honk like a goose. It makes no sense. So it's like one of those things that
you might want to go get that test.
I had a wild
have a quick test.
So we don't want anyone to get it. I didn't want my wife to get it, even though the kids had it. And we certainly don't want me to get it now that I'm like last one standing. But there is like this, obviously not survivor's guilt, but like whatever the equivalent that is, uninfected guilt that I have of like, my wife is still working because America and is a nightmare. And so she's still working here and there. And then she's also taking care of the kids. And I'm definitely trying more than I started. I will admit I did a bad job at the beginning because I was just like distancing a little too much, and it wasn't being as helpful and as cooperative a partner. Now I'm definitely trying more, but there is that like, all right, cool it a little bit. My wife's birthday is tomorrow, Wednesday. So tomorrow, I don't know what she's going to be like. She's going to be hopefully better, but she might be worse tomorrow or the same. And if she's the same as she is today, like either way, it's going to be a crummy birthday because it's going to be this social distanced, can't really celebrate. We're going to celebrate, but it was like one of those things. My daughter, my son was down for a nap, and so I'm in this office. It's a small room. I don't know the dimensions. 8 by 12 is maybe the room. And it's a small room. It's got 2 windows and a door to outside and a ceiling fan. I opened the door, opened all the windows, had the fan blasted, put on a mask, had my daughter put on a mask, and then we spent like an hour of while my son was napping, my daughter and I like making a birthday card. And I was like, well, this kind of sucks. It's like it was fun to get time with her and to make this thing, but we're both like masked up, and then like I'm kind of trying to keep distance from her, but I'm also like, this is a really fun moment, and like she's at an age where she likes drawing, and this is like a cool like you're gonna make this card from scratch, and I'm really trying to encourage her while being like, don't touch me, but and it's been a weird experience. This whole thing has been it's been a bummer. We tested my daughter today, so today's day 5 for her, and
from the first test positive.
From the first tested positive, and they say you test after 5 days, especially if there's no symptoms, and she has no symptoms, no fever, no nothing. She's fine, and we test her, and immediately like 2 lines, like within under a minute, she had 2 lines, like boom, she still got COVID. And we're like,
that's wild. I still haven't.
We were
like
just
you
kinda
tested
hoping,
positive for COVID, but when you test, like you test and you like up to 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, still give it 18 minutes or so to double check. But you say,
I think my daughter
hers is like
the first time I think
lighting up in 60 seconds.
60 seconds. And the first time I tested her when she went positive, it was like, I think it was like, the 8 to 10 minute mark from the 15 minutes you're supposed to wait. Cause I remember checking on it a couple of times and I was like, all right, we're still good. And then went back and was like, we're in a bad spot. And this time it was just like, boom, right away. Man. No, you still have it. You guys aren't even like, you still can't see. You're still in the woods and you can't see any way out yet. And it's like, okay. So it's been really frustrating, to say the least. She's missed school and.
Yeah, the first day of school here. I mean, it's different for people around the country, around the world, obviously.
It was her first and second day of school. She's going to miss the whole week because, and again, she tested positive, so she's going to have to miss the rest of the week, which was fine. We were going to keep her out for the rest of the week regardless. But, yeah, so she's missed the first week, and as if to like twist the knife, I called Monday morning before school started. Got on the horn with the front office, and I was like, "Hey guys, I just want to let you know my daughter."
Hey guys, it's Kevin LaFerre, PTA.
Yeah, may have heard of me. Just kidding. You know who it is. How was your summer vacation in Puerto Rico? Yeah, I know. So I called and I was like, "Hey, just so you know, my daughter's tested positive for COVID. She will not be in school today or tomorrow." Probably the rest of the week. And they asked me a couple questions and stuff, and they were just like, okay, well, she can come in on Wednesday if she tests negative on Tuesday. And I was like, we're going to keep her out for the week. We're just going to play it safe. She was like, oh, okay, great. So I told her everything. But still, yesterday, today, I expect one tomorrow. I'm getting a phone call from an automated system saying, hey, your kid's out of school right now. And I was like, I know.
It's the automated thing. I mean, it's like it happened to us last year too. The second your kid, it's like, you've called ahead, you've got the pre-approval, they know you're coming, the teacher knows, the principal knows, the school knows, and then it's like, your kid wasn't in school today. And then they get like an afternoon call. As a result of your kid not being in school today, you're like, we talked about it.
I called you. Can you turn off the robots? I'm already feeling like trash. And then I'm getting a phone call. And I did get a phone call today from the California Public Health Office because we PCR tested her. We PCR tested everybody. That morning she had tested positive. But we were like, well, let's still go to the PCR test and see if anyone else is like asymptomatic and positive. So we went and got the PCR test. She comes back positive. Everyone else is negative. This is before, obviously, the other two tested positive like a day or so later. Today, I get a call from the California Public Health, and he was just like, hey, I just wanted to call and see what's going on. Your daughter tested positive, and I just wanted to and they're just, they're doing numbers, they're taking down stats. This is all like helpful information to know, like, our case is ramping up and down. So it's good that we PCR tested for that reason. And he goes, all right, so tell me what's going on. So I gave him like the whole story. And I was like, this is what happened. My daughter's got it. Now my son's got it. Now my wife's got it. I don't have it. I'm quarantined in the back of the house. That's where we're at
I'm
right
in the
now.
shed. And if you could bring me a glass of water.
he goes, similar to if I asked him for water, he goes, oh wow, yeah, for sure. There's definitely been a few cases where like it's like a reverse quarantine where the only person quarantined is the one who didn't get it. Yeah. I don't have anyone else's information. I can really only ask about your daughter. Like, it's like I can't help them.
Thanks for all this extra information that has,
I understand you're alone in the house and you just want somebody to talk to. I can't be that for you. Technology has come a long way. You can FaceTime a friend.
We almost made it through
podcast.
My wife
listen
and
to
I
the
are
Dumb Dad
watching
podcast?
Ted Lasso as well. We just haven't quite made it through it. One more question about your daughter.
And then it's funny. Is there anything else I can do for you? That's what he said on the phone. And I said, you know what? If you could, I know I can go buy some, but if you could send along some tests, just to have some at-home tests, it'd be great. And he was like, oh, yeah, no, I can't do that. And I was like, well, what did you mean?
What did you mean by anything else? Because I felt like I was kind of like narrowing into maybe like what you could do. I mean, because I'll tell you what, a cold sixer coming through that door in about a half an hour would really make my day.
Again, I'm just asking about your daughter.
Yeah, she's a fan.
So we missed it. We missed it all.
Yeah, you missed it all. You haven't missed much. I'll tell you what you haven't missed. Let's jump right into that really quick, just to give you a quick
Tell me
update
about
of the
let me
experience
live.
of. Here's okay.
Let me live
I'm
vicariously
going to give
through
you the lowdown. Yeah, I'm going to give you the lowdown. Right. So my son was actually excited to go back to school. So he had a little bit of the emotions hitting him Sunday night before going back to school. Just he had a good summer, so he was going to miss hanging out with us and that whole thing. I'm reminding him, we're working. We need you to be with somebody while we're working. So here's what you didn't miss. Taking him the next day, and we learned late, the weekend of, like, who was in his class, any of this kind of information.
Yeah.
And then, you're in a different gate this year. You go down to this gate here, a child looks for the painted number on the floor, whatever. He's going to second grade. We had a meeting in the morning, and I guess you went and picked him up. We all took him to school. We all took him to school the first day, but it was very much like, last year in LAUSD here in Los Angeles, you had to there was an app, and you logged into the website to show that there had been no symptoms of COVID in the last 24 hours or whatever, and each morning, and then you get a specific QR code that they would scan at the gate, and then you'd get your kid into school. Now it's just come on in, right?
Come on in.
So the first day of school was a bit of a mess, and there's a caveat to this, and I'll loop in the dumb dad moment, is that we'd been talking for the last couple days about getting, he needs a new water bottle. When your kids' water bottles are just getting kind of old, and you're like, this has to be gross.
Yeah.
It's just
There's only so many times you can put a tiny brush through that straw before you're like, I feel like some of it just burnt into it.
Or let's be realistic, Kevin, like the rest of the people in America who just rinse it with water. And it's only going to last you so long before you're like, I think we should maybe maybe just get a new one, a fresh one.
What, was this always a yellow straw? Or it was clear? It was a clear straw.
Right.
Okay.
Right, so as part of some of his back to school stuff, we were getting him a new straw, a new water bottle.
No, get the whole bottle, man. Don't skimp, okay? First day of school. Dude, isn't that the same bottle you had last year? Yeah, man, but it's got a new straw. Look at New Straw over here. That's his nickname for the school year. New Straw.
How was the first day? Fuck you.
Yeah. Hey, those last year's shoes with new laces too? Get out of here. You're garbage. Second grade is tough.
Boom. Yeah. Boom roasted across the board. So we had to get him a new water bottle, and we're trying to get him a bigger one because it's hot in California, and he's going to recess every day. We're thinking he's got to get
I'm starting to realize that with my daughter. Bottle. My daughter's the same thing where she has a water bottle. She goes, "Can I have some water?" And I'm like, "Absolutely." And I give her water. And I mean, a minute later, she's like, "Dad, can I have some water?" And my first reaction is just like, "Come on, I just gave you a bottle. It's right here." It's empty.
There's nothing in this yet.
Okay, you got to be drinking water.
And on top of that, they're going to school. And it's still it's been hot here this week, and it's the first week back. It's 95
100 every day for the last 3 weeks.
So the whole thing has been we're going to find you a little bit of a bigger one. We went to Target to try to find him one. Didn't really like them, which was fine. So I think we ordered one. And so it was okay, for the first couple of days, you're not going to have it. So we'll make do, with what the ones from last year or whatever. And then we'll get you your new one. He was cool with that. So the whole thing about the new school year and everything, yesterday, first day back of school, we sent him to school, forgot to give him a water bottle. Those are dumb dad moments. It's first day of school. You didn't
give him a water bottle first day of school?
Not at all. Not even one.
Perfect.
So obviously, they don't allow their kids. So he just suffered all. They have little bottles of water or whatever for the kids. But it was funny that we made such a point of it to get him a new one, a bigger one that he had more water throughout the day, and then we didn't even give him one at all anyway. So stupid dumb dad moment.
How did we discover this dumb dad moment? How did we discover that?
Usually,
was this a pickup or was this at noon? You were you just see it on the counter?
No. Because not only was it a point of conversation, but it's something that my wife and I had been participating in, and so we had been home for 35 minutes when my wife just looks at me and she's like, "We didn't even pack him a water bottle." That was it was kind of one of those things you look at each other "Oh, you didn't either, and I didn't either." Oh, yeah. Oh, that's crazy because we were definitely talking about it for 3 days, and then we definitely didn't even do it.
That is the problem with both parents being home for going to school, is you both try to pitch in, and that can be a real problem.
1,700 consecutive days.
Yeah.
And so then the other problem today was like going back. What you're not missing is the amount of paperwork they send you home with. He's like, hey, you guys got some stuff to fill out? And it's like 80 pages of stuff. You'll get there. And then on top of that, the gates change. You pick them up at this gate now. You drop them off at this gate now. But because we went there the first day, we dropped him off at the one, and then he had to walk like across the whole yard where we used to drop him off. We're like, well, we'll just drop him off there the next morning. I mean, that's closer to where he's standing anyway. Then we can wave when we drop him off. So this morning I go to drop him off. We get there early, 15 minutes early, and there's the line at the gate from where we were before was like 100 people long. I mean, it's long. And technically, this is like the younger kids and then the first grade classrooms, and he's second grade. But we're like, this is closer to where you are. But I'm standing there holding his hand there, trying to drop him off. And I mean, it's chaos, man. I mean, there's cars double parking, people getting out, running across the street. And we're 100 people deep, and it's like the bell's ringing in like 4 minutes. Like, how are we getting into this situation? And I look at him and I go, why don't we just go to the gate we're supposed to go to, you know? And so we pass this gate we're trying to get into. I mean, and it's like people from all angles shoving kids into like, we just surpass this. We go
just
walk about 100 yards down. Yeah. We can walk about 100 yards down to the gate we're supposed to be at. And then like, there's like 4 people standing there. So I give him a hug and he has to run all the way across the yard. By the time he gets there, his class has already started walking. So now he's like, doesn't see his class. Second day of school.
Oh, it's not
it
going
was just
good.
Chaos.
I like that you went to the wrong gate. Why'd you go to the wrong gate?
Because the day before when we dropped him off, he's looking for us. He can't see us because he had to run like across the whole yard to where his classroom was lining up. So you can stand there. A lot of the parents do, and it's the first day of school. You want to stand there and like you wave at them, and then he's in second grade. You know what I mean? You're gonna wave at your kid, and then he's gonna like start walking to class, and then it's like one more wave, but that was like 500 yards from where we are. So
I just like that there was chaos.
The first day of school, he couldn't even see us, and so we tried to walk down there, and then by that time he didn't see us. And then he told us when we picked him up, he was like, "I couldn't see you guys. I got kind of sad." And so we thought, okay, tomorrow we'll just go to the closer gate, the one we were at before, and then you can see us. And then but it was like just absolute chaos trying to get into that.
I guess I get why you went to that, but I think the second I saw the bottlenecked nightmare, I'd be like, or.
Well, we didn't notice it at first. We walked down there and thought, like, oh, I guess we're in line now. But then the more it was like, why aren't we going anywhere? Then we thought, well, let's check out of here. Let's go back. And then you see, like, people just, like, getting out of their cars from the street with their kids, just, like, pushing them through it to the front. It's like, well, there are people in line here. But, at that point, there was even a guy, we're at the end, and I'm standing behind this guy. I don't even know who he is, who's with his kid. And this guy comes up with his 2 kids at the end of the line. He's like, are people in line here to get into school? It's like,
no, we're here to pick up our water bottle straws.
I don't remember who has that joke. There's a comedian that has the joke where they get so pissed off when somebody does that. You're like, there's clearly somebody there's that guy that can't not ask the question, right? You're standing there in your parking lot with a coat hanger in your window, and it's like, you lock your keys in your car? Like, yes.
Yeah.
What else can I buy? And so,
because there's the answer. There's the answer. What do you think? Which is just the easy go-to answer. But you want to give a pleasant answer and just turn to them and go, "What are my options? What are my options of what I'm doing?"
You're making
here?
it so hard for me not to come off as a dick right now. With how stupid that question is. Like, I have to carefully word, and even so, I told him, "We're waiting for ice cream," and the guy in front of me thought that was hilarious. But the guy was just kind of like all flabbergasted about being last in line. I think he didn't really get it.
Well, it wasn't that he didn't get it. It's that he wasn't. You didn't help him, because now he was like, "This is a stupid This is a stupid question. Are you guys waiting to get to school? We're getting ice cream."
Yeah.
He's like, "I'm assuming that's sarcasm, but I really need to get my kid to school."
Yeah. But since
I can't
you're
ask
so
a follow-up 'cause it was already
uninformed about
stupid.
like how to even get into this school, I imagine that because your wife didn't tell you that it's potentially ice cream day on the first day, you're not really sure if I'm being serious or not.
Exactly.
You didn't read the email. It might be.
He got home that day and said to his wife, and he's like, so then we're already late, and wouldn't you know it, when it's his turn to finally go in, they're out of ice cream. Completely sold out.
Well, I thought it was weird at like 8:08 in the morning
for
anyway, but I'm just saying.
8 a.m. ice cream, but who's going to say no to it? It's milk. You have milk in the morning. Kind of makes sense.
Needless to say, I didn't get a scoop.
I mean, I did. I went to 7-Eleven after. It just sounded so good.
Yeah. It sounded good. It sounded really good. But yeah, that's the chaos of the first day. You're not missing that. So you really, if anything, I understand. And
it's not that I'm not missing it. It's I'm going to go for it. I'm going to get it.
Yeah.
Or I guess I'll hope there'll be more of a well-oiled machine when I get there.
It will be. And I remember that from last year thinking like, this is going to be wild every day. You know, like if this is the drop-off situation, it's going to be wild. But everybody kind of settles into where they kind of like to go and stuff. Uh-huh. And the pieces find their places, if you will. But I will say,
yeah.
all jokes aside, it's something that I appreciate you saying. I think it's something to be, I don't want to say concerned. I think that feels like too aggressive of a word, but like you're thinking about your daughter going back into school and like, man, here we are, no fault of her own. And she's a week late and it feels like, I'm the new kid at school, or almost like or she's the new kid in school, even though it's her school, but it's a new teacher, new classmates, and like all that kind of stuff. So, hopefully it's a cool trend. Hey, if she truly is the live in the moment girl that you say she is, then she'll be cool with it. but it's hard not to think of it that way.
It's going to be like a coin toss because she's like, she's a little kid, so she can get intimidated and feel nervous and left out like any kid her age can 100%. And has. She does have moments where I've seen stuff slide off her back, whether it's like whether she didn't get what the person said or she just doesn't care. Like so it's one of those things like and it could just be nothing. She just go to school and all the kids are super friendly and they're just happy to see her, and then school goes as normal, which is almost certainly what's going to happen. Most of this is probably me projecting. But I'll give you an example where this girl, Lucy, my daughter Lucy, met this girl at the playground a couple weeks ago, and the girl was definitely like, I want to be your friend, but I'm kind of a troublemaker. Like, you could see she kind of like...
And I'm going to be upfront about it.
You could tell... Yeah, she just like kind of like would make little jabs, and like none of them... I think she liked
You're going to hang with me, you're going to break some rules.
Right. We're going to... Now, here's a cigarette. Smoke it on one drag. And my daughter did. She got great lungs. She didn't. She didn't smoke it. She said no. And... No, so this little girl just was like... You can tell she's just making little jabs, and none of them are getting my daughter. And this is an example of like how my daughter can be sometimes, of just like, what are you doing? I don't care. I'm not interested. Maybe she doesn't get it, or she doesn't care. But the girl goes, how old are you? And my daughter's like, I'm 6. And she's like, I'm 7. And Lucy goes, yeah, I'm about to go into first grade. And she goes, I'm going to go into second grade. First grade is stupid. You don't learn anything. And you can tell it was just kind of like I'm in second grade, I'm better than you kind of jab. And she kind of just watched my dog.
When I hear that, I feel like, gee, tell me, but without telling me that you have like a sibling that's just a little bit older than you.
Yeah. So, and she's kind of like looking at my daughter like, your move. I just insulted what you're about to do. I didn't even insult what you do. It's what you're about to do. I've already just belittled it.
And you think it's a big deal, so how do you feel now?
Yeah, how do you feel? She goes, first grade's stupid. You don't learn anything. And I'm watching this, and my daughter just goes, oh, all right. That was it. She's just like, I appreciate you letting me know. I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah, well, that's just like
the same.
Your opinion, man.
Okay. Yeah, it really was just like well, if you feel that way, I mean, it's fine with...
Yeah.
I'm kind of fine with that. I mean, I liked school. Yeah. It was the learning part that I didn't enjoy. I enjoyed the food and hanging out with my friends. So if you're saying the part I like the least is gone, sounds like first grade's going to be great. The girls
Or how about let's talk about the quality of the first grade teacher you might have even had. Good luck with your future.
But we'll see. Just get through this week. I mean, I get through this week. Tomorrow's my wife's birthday, so
yeah, you're in the thick of it, my friend.
Awesome.
You're in the foxhole. You're in the foxhole.
What do you mean?
Well, you'll figure it out. You'll look up when you see the shrapnel headed your way, you'll know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I appreciate you coming on here and talking to me. This feels really old school. Back when we used to chat in COVID and you were in your apartment in the bathroom and we were chatting, we made it work.
In the bathroom, and you were like, "Did you just flush the toilet?" And I was like, "Nope, but my neighbor did." And that
was my neighbor. That was the neighbor. Sharing is caring out here in North Hollywood. That's how they do it.
Oh, but hold on. It's a 2-flusher. Let's just pause for. We'll cut all this out.
But I will say today, I posted something in the stories. I know you saw it. Just wanted to make sure we had it on the record books that the first early pickup of the school year nailed it. I was there. Didn't forget about it. 1 for 1.
How many did it go?
Cocky. And I want to get
how many
cocky.
weeks? Don't get cocky. You can't get cocky. You ended. You let in a run at the bottom of the ninth. Let me just say that, friend. You let in a run after
could have been celebrating. Could have been celebrating a shutout, but
and you can't blame the ump on this. We saw the
focus.
instant replay. You were tired.
Never going to live it down. It'll be even if I put on the biggest comeback ever and it's the longest winning streak all the way through until he's taken himself to school and I never miss again. There's that one time.
For those who are wondering, Evan so we have early drop off. I don't know if everybody does, but one day a
early
week.
Early pickup.
I mean, early pickup where you pick your kid up at 1:30 instead of 2:30, basically, and it's every Tuesday for us in LA. And on the last Tuesday of the year, Evan had to get a phone call from the teacher.
It was the second to last.
Second to last. It was the second to last.
Really praying that maybe for some reason you might do it.
I would do it on the last.
So I wasn't alone.
But Evan got a phone call from the teacher right at the end of the year. It was a joke we had going all year of just like, man, it really sneaks up on you. Like, oh, it's Tuesday. I got to go pick my kid up. Don't forget to pick him up an hour early.
Yeah.
And second to last one. So.
And I succumbed to the.
You did give me an Instagram story today about it, and I was like, "Oh God!" Like I'd forgotten about early pickup altogether because I'm not in school yet.
You're lucky. I gave you the warning. That was for free.
You said it, and I was like, "Oh God!" I forgot that's a thing.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Part of your week is just interrupted by a panic.
Tuesday anxieties.
By a panic attack. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, back in the thick of it, we'll welcome you back in with open arms when you can join the fight in the school year and how it all works out. So, thanks for listening to us.
Yeah, thanks everybody. If check us out, we are on YouTube, The Dumb Dads. If you want to watch this podcast, if you are, thank you, and please subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. And we are also on Apple Podcasts. Please write a review on that. We're wherever you can find podcasts, but writing a review on Apple Podcasts really helps, and we really appreciate it. We are at DumbDadPod on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. You guys can write in your Dumb Dad or Dumb Mom moments. You can either email us, dumbdadpod@gmail.com, or you can DM us on Instagram. We'd love to hear your stories. How did you guys get through some of these pandemic situations? Because they're wild. Thanks as always to Adverdu for the music of this wonderful podcast, and thanks as always to my lovely wife Annie, and a happy birthday to my wife Annie, the editor of this podcast. Evan, do you have a joke?
Thank you, Kevin. Yeah, I got a joke for you. Ready? It's going to be a quick one.
Yep. Okay.
Simple. 2 men walk into a bar.
Cool.
The third one ducks.
So he goes under the bar?
Boink. Yeah, there you go. You got it.
When I hear bar, walk into a bar, you're assuming the building. So it's like, so they walked into a brick wall. And then when you say duck, I'm like, well, he still hit the wall.
I think...
you mean the literal bar.
Maybe you spent a little bit too much time in that room by yourself. That's what I think.
It's not a good joke, is my point.
They never are. They never are.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Welcome to the world, little one. Welcome to life.
How do I stop this?